Guest has two dramatic headlines. Let's hit this one first, since we first saw these Google robots just yesterday. My guest says, quote, robots are workforce napalm for American workers. Let's welcome Patriarch Equity CEO Eric Schiffer. Oh, you're the guy. Okay. That's a little strong, isn't it? What do you mean by napalm for American workers?
Well, I think, Stuart, you have Donald Trump, who is railing against China and Mexico. And I want you to imagine the economy when you have robots within the next 10 years, like you just saw, robots that can lift things, robots that can handle almost any type of industrial item, robots that have the emotional intelligence to be able to sell things like Salesforce is the platform for, to be able to do things that normally you would never think robots could even do. It's coming. And frankly, it is napalm. It is the death of the paycheck for the American worker. And things need to happen. We really need to begin to think about these things because it's coming sooner than you think. Stephen Hawking, who many people know about, has talked about both the positives and the negatives. On the positive, he thinks that everyone should have a robot because it'll provide such great luxury that the government should give them out. I guess he wants to call them Bernie. I don't know what he wants to call them. But I think that, look, we need a plan. We need a plan for these things to protect the American worker. It's not just China and Mexico. It's our own intelligence. It's our own technology.
Okay, we hear you. You're taking a very strong line there, but I do hear you. You've got a second headline, and it's about the FBI versus Apple debate. The FBI wants Apple to unlock that terrorist iPhone. Now, you've got a strong opinion on this. What is it? Tell us what you think.
Well, look, I think, and I've said this for a while, I've said this for months, that I believe that Apple is ripping off the security of Americans. And frankly, and in this case, what they're doing, and frankly, it's largely about branding, and it's about profits. They want to look to the American public and to the global market that they really protect the consumer. They don't care about the actual security of the American public. And frankly, I think, look, I love privacy. Who doesn't love privacy? But the reality is, privacy should not trump the security of your family, of other Americans' families. It doesn't equate. And so there needs to be a balance. And frankly, look, the American people now are agreeing with the position I took several months ago that was not popular.
That's true. That's the Pew poll. In fact, what's probably going to happen is some kind of legislative fix where the law is changed and Apple has to comply with that law. And you will probably get your way. But, you know, it's going to be an awful long time before you come up with that legislative fix. Meanwhile, that iPhone remains unlocked in San Bernardino. Eric Schiffer, those were two very good headlines, and we're glad you brought them too. He gave us an opportunity to show those robots all over again. Cruelty to robots, that's what we were seeing. It was. Eric, thank you very much for joining us. Come again.
Thank you, Stuart.
How about this?